J.P. White, SportsSpeak. Welcome back to this edition of SportsSpeak. We speak sports. I'm J.P. White, and I'm happy to have David Thornhill here with me for this program. Appreciate you, David, coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. J.P. Glad to be with you.
What's that?
Glad to be with you.
Good. Okay. Didn't upset you or anything getting you here at this time of the day?
Absolutely not.
Is it day or night? It doesn't matter. It
That's
looks like
right.
it's about right.
It doesn't matter.
I want you to know something about, I almost know for sure that you played some ball, some kind of sport. What did you play?
Did. Started off playing football.
Okay.
In junior high. And really enjoyed it, liked it, but you know how that goes. Sometimes you have to make a decision on what you're going to do, whether you're going to stay in sports or move on to something else, and sometimes you have to make a choice. And so I chose performing arts. So I went into the band side to support the sports.
There you go.
You know, so our band was very supportive of all the sports and all different type of sports.
Good. Did you say performing arts?
Exactly right.
Tell me, what you mean by all that now?
Exactly. Band and choir and drama and everything of that magnitude makes up performing arts in the school program.
Cheerleading included in that?
I would think that would be right in there too.
We have a granddaughter that was quite a cheerleader for Notre Dame.
There you go.
How about that?
That's great. Good stuff.
Okay, let's see. Oh, and also another one, she's up at the University of Arkansas. Now, in fact, you see this golf cart here?
Exactly.
That's a clock that our granddaughter, that's in the University of Arkansas now, sent that to me. Isn't that neat?
That is cool.
All right.
I like that.
Okay, then since you did a little football, and then you went into the band, performing arts. I'm learning.
That's right.
About all I know is I see a bunch of people out there, and they make a lot of music, and then there's somebody that's leading them. Who actually is leading that? Who is that? And how? Explain that to me.
Well, you have a band director that actually is kind of like a coach. So you can kind of relate it to football a little bit. You have your team, and you have a coach, and a band director is the coach over everything that the band does.
Yeah.
Like the coach would call out the plays and do everything in a football game, whereas a band director would call the actual play for what the band is going to play, perform, how they're going to march, and the whole gist of that.
All right. Well, what about once in a while I see that some pretty little lady get up on a ladder or stand up on a stand. Who is that, and what's that all about?
There you go. Well, every band is going to have a couple of people that are your leaders, your band leaders. They are going to stand up there and be your majorettes. You know, whether it's a drum major and female or male, and they're going to just conduct you'd have a quarterback. That would be your quarterback for your band.
Well, did you call one of them a majorette and the other than something else? Or, the boys one thing, the girls another? Tell me about that. I didn't understand that.
They both really are called drum majors. They really don't have two different titles for them.
Okay, that sounds good. You know, I never realized all that. I could see what was going on out there and sort of hear what's going on, but I never knew all that stuff. Well, what about that? How in the world does that band, you're talking about now they get out there and march. Tell me, I don't know how in the world they decide where they're going.
Well, it is pretty interesting. It's really a lot like what the football team has to do to call plays. Okay, you have certain steps that you have to look at where you are on the field. So you have those yard lines, and you have those hash marks that are in between there, and you have to be at a certain position at a certain time, and that band director puts that together, just like calling a play. exactly almost like the same thing. It's really, it's more involved than people believe. It's really comparable to anything that a football team really has to put together. It really is.
What way of education and sports are you playing at the moment? I'm pretty sure you're up to something. You serving on some kind of board or anything?
I'm glad you asked me that question, JP. Presently, I am serving on LIT Foundation Board in Beaumont. LIT is a great institution. It's a technology college. It's a 2-year program, but they have many opportunities down there. Certificates. They have opportunity for you even to be a forklift driver. If you want to go down and be a forklift driver, you can get a certificate to go down there and become that if you want to.
Huh. I can't remember the name, but I should. One of your people talked to me about the possibility of teaching play-by-play sportscasting and public address announcing. There's quite a bit of that going on. Is that something maybe that I should be interested in?
I think you should be interested in with the talent and ability that you've had over all these years and everything that you've done in broadcast and the way that you've been able to reach out and communicate with a lot of people. Hey, that's a great opportunity for you if you want to take it.
Well, thank you. I don't know. These people got me in so many fires going on. I'm having a hard time putting them all out. But we're hanging in there, and we're hanging in there tough. Let me think. What else is there something else you want to tell me about sports? This is a sports show.
Sure.
Of course, I'll ask you another question or two later.
Sure. I do want to say this.
Yeah.
Our company, who is Southwest Building Systems, SBS, we do a lot to support the sports in this area by way of advertising, in the programs, and a lot of what we do to help support the sports in this area, not only for Silsbee but several other sports applications, also basketball, and then a lot of other districts also.
My lady friend up in Arkansas wants to come hear you sing. She says you're a singer. Are you really?
Well, I've been a minister of music for a long time, quite a few years. Presently, I'm at First Baptist Church of Loeb in Lumberton, Texas.
Yes.
A little community, as they say, that doesn't really exist, so to speak, on the map anymore, but you won't want to tell those people down there it doesn't exist, because it exists as far as they're concerned.
Good location.
Great little community south of Lumberton. I've been there 15 years as their minister of music.
Is that right?
Quite a while.
15. You're not old enough to be that. But where'd you go to school?
Here. I graduated here in 1979, Silsbee High School, where the junior high is now. It used to be the high school.
Yes.
I graduated from there.
Yes, yes. You know, schools, we got to be proud of schools, Silsbee. Tell me something about that. What you mentioned, where something, what else is going on about that?
Well, totally, let's relate that to sports, okay?
Okay.
First of all, I'm very proud of all of our sports that we have in Silsbee, the way it pulls the community together, where the way people show up and come to the games and support the Tigers. I think that's phenomenal and fantastic. Certainly glad that people take that kind of interest in our schools, and especially through the sports. That's a big part. Of course, we've got the new high school that's a few years old now, but new to us, and that's a wonderful thing out there. Beautiful stadium. Our football stadium is one that people talk about. You know, they like it because it's embedded in that hill, you know, embedded there, and they really like that.
Yeah, they invited me by one gym just for curiosity. Boy, they had some good fried chicken from somewhere around here. And I'm going to go back again and try to get some more of that chicken if I can sneak in.
I used to work in the press box a little bit up there, and then they moved me out of there, and they moved me down to the concession stands.
You work do you work with Tom Hawk?
Now, it's been a few years since I've been in there, so
oh, okay.
I work with Tom Hawk now. But back then it was the visitor side, and the band boosters had it, so that's kind of where we were with that.
Okay, now, you mentioned sport.
Yes.
How many of the sports that Silsbee participates in can you think of and name right now? Okay, well, you know football and basketball, but name the rest of them if you can remember any of them.
Well, tennis is one of the sports that we have. Softball, baseball, We participate, and look at that quite often. Golf, we have a golf team, exactly right. So those are the major ones that I can think of. I'm sure there's some others also.
Don't have swimming. I tried to talk them into building a swimming pool, and they built that new place, and they wouldn't listen to me.
I'm telling you, I wish they would. I think they should.
And at that time, we had one of the best swimming professors, teachers here of the whole state.
And we
let him get away.
We have some good swimmers right now that are going out to some other locations to swim because we're not able to help them here with everything that we're doing.
You mentioned Lamar, and since we mentioned swimming, I broadcast the Lamar Lady Cardinals swimming.
Exactly.
Of course, they carried me pretty high, because they get up here on the outside of the pool and on the starting blocks, and they dive in, and I said, they're in the water. They carried me high for 2 months without that. I said, where did you think I was going to swim? I said, thank you so much for that. I get in trouble quite often over these little things.
I bet you do.
Yeah. Well, I like it down at church. They're real nice to me down at church every Sunday morning. I show up, they all stand up and start singing. They wait for me to get there.
As soon as you walk in.
Yeah, as soon as I walk in. But that young Link Skeller said, "Oh, White said they were not honoring you. Said you just late."
Gotcha.
Oh, so much for that. Anything else? Hey, you told me about singing. You told me all you knew about sports. You know anything else about sports? You know anything about? You told me about being on the board at Lamar.
Well, I'm very happy about the Lamar football team.
Good.
I think it's fantastic. I think Ray's doing a good job down there, and it's great to have Silsbee connection in Beaumont, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We have some players down there, don't we? And besides that, the coach. Well, tell me, how is it he's connected with Beaumont? I mean, Silsbee.
Well, the Woodards and all of those, they're Silsbee connected. They're here. They're born, raised, bred right here in Silsbee, Texas. So I feel like we've got, connection to Lamar University through the coach.
Did I ask you where you went to college?
You did.
You told me?
Lamar State College at the time. It's LIT now. And then I went on to Lamar University.
Okay. I think we're beginning to get near the end, and certainly appreciate you coming by and talking with us. David Thornhill.
Thank you.
You're a Jim Dandy good man. By the way, your mother, I believe, sings at our church, doesn't she?
She does.
You told me she'd be on one end or the other, and I can't remember now. And I still haven't figured out who she is.
You haven't found her yet, have you?
Haven't found her yet, but she's up there. I know she's bound to be up there. So, J.B. White, we're going to have Brad Ghost watching coach in here pretty soon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he'll be here on just pretty soon. He's going to tell us about watching that Brad Ghost out there.
Fantastic.
J.P. White with SportsSpeak, where we speak sports and a few things else. And we had Buddy, you don't care if I call you Brother David Thornhill, do you?
You can call me that. That's fine. That's not a problem.
So long for now from SportsSpeak, and we'll see you next time when we bring you another interview.